this program. Perhaps this is the place of authority, Bulli Krishna Garu, to welcome a principal distinguished sir by offering a bouquet. Now may I call upon K.S. Vishwanathan, Joint. Now may I request Sri Patamsetti Ravi Subhash, District Collector of Anakapalli, to please come on to the dais. And he will be welcomed by Arunashri by offering Alositana Raju District to please. Now I request Sri C.H. Srikanth, Commissioner of Tourism, to serve with florals. Now may I take the pleasure of inviting of Gautami Shari. Now I request S. Satish. I request Rani Prasad to the dais. And I
comes to my Lord, Honorable Sri Justice Asauddin Umanullah, Judge, High Court of Andhra Pradesh and Executive Chairman, AP State Legal Society, Amaravati, and my sincere respects to all the dignitaries on the dais, the collectors of 3 districts, Adu Sitramagadu district, Anakapalli district. President's Day is observed every year. Don't forget to wish them. Pranams and thanks to all the senior citizens.
అదంతే చెప్పించే రేపు బయటకు వెళ్తుంటాం.
It's honor to be speaking today, sir. I'd already told you, sir. Something that I had noticed once I had come to this district. I had worked as sub-collector in Narsapur. There, it is a comparatively more aware society, but compared to Visakhapatnam, you could say it is a bit more rural. There, as a sub-collector, I used to take a lot of cases in senior citizens, as I was the division officer taking care of the tribunal. I used to have around 200 to 250 cases pending in my tenure, and that was not something that could reduce. It was a dynamic, and cases used to come every week, and a lot of cases, even if I hear 10, 20 per day, it would not be enough to complete the whole pendency. Here, however, I see that the whole district has only around 16 cases pending, sir, of which 6 have been disposed. So if only 10 cases are pending here, especially in a district like Visakhapatnam, it is something worrying. That means a lot of people are not aware, sir. So, sir, I think, so I would assure you, sir, that in the next week only we would take corrective steps. The first being that we would, already there is a call center here, we would link up that call center with a control room in the collectorate. And we would ensure that the AD Disabled Welfare is the overall coordinator, and I would also personally ensure that calls are beyond that. We need to do a little bit more of campaigns to ensure that there is more awareness about this thing. So we would also put up a huge poster at least outside the collectorate with the call center number. At least whoever is coming there will at least know, sir. Beyond that, sir, I think when I was a sub-collector, there used to be 2 panel members who used to assist the sub-collector. So there used to be one representative from the senior citizen. There are 2 divisions. One is a newly created division, sir, so it has not yet been set up. The one at Visakhapatnam also has to be stabilized. So that also we would assure by next week we will appoint the panel members, and we will ensure that this also stabilizes, sir. Another one thing, when I was a sub-collector, what had happened, sir, there are cases where people come saying that I had fraudulently or I was misguided and transferred the property to my children. They've taken the property and they have now abandoned me, or such issues come, sir. So as a chairman here, you have the power to give back the property. But at times what happens, sir, the files go missing. Right when we are about to give the order, all the inquiries, the files go missing, or when there is a transition between one officer to the next during the transfer, the files go missing, or the next officer is not informed, sir. So for all these cases, we would also ensure that digitization of all these records and all these cases happen, and no case is taken up without the digitized files, sir. And we will also coordinate with the police department for ensuring the same, sir. Sir, beyond that, there are other grievances that come. Old age pensions were mentioned. All other grievances, especially here, we have a lot of revenue cases, sir. Revenue cases, a lot of old people are here, their family members are not here with them. So those cases, I think we should take a much faster stand so that old people do not come back to us again. So either we have to ensure that it is sorted, or at least guide them as to what is the right procedure to be followed for sorting out, sir. So we have made the collectorate a bit disabled friendly and old age friendly with lifts, with wheelchairs. But beyond that, whatever need is there, we will also look into it. So we assure you that from the administration side, whatever drawbacks, whatever things need to be improved, we will improve, sir. So from my own experience, and then I hope that here also I gain more experience, and whatever mistakes are there, we correct it. Thank you, sir.
Very good afternoon to you all. I deem it as a privilege to be a part of this orientation program, and I could learn. Once I was invited to this program, I started looking into what is this act and what are the provisions of this act, and what are the duties of the functions of the police, the role of police in this act. And rightly, as the Honorable District Judge has mentioned in his introductory speech, why we need to respect and we need to take care of our senior citizens. And I could see a very few targeted group here in the audience. And it's in fact the targeted group, the audience is a mix of young, old and middle aged. Whether we accept it or not accept it, slowly we have to move to that age only, and we definitely need the support of the system as well as our children. And this Act of 2007, which has been amended in 2019, has definitely strengthened the Act and caring for the, it has strengthened the tribunals to really take care of the senior citizens. And I could see, I have witnessed today morning the Honorable Justice urged the commitment towards the strengthening the DLSAs, and through them reaching the targeted groups. And senior citizens are one such targeted group where definitely their needs, because of their mental and physical lack of facility, they definitely need to be taken care. And police department will definitely be in the forefront to take care of these problems. And the Act takes care of the maintenance and welfare of these senior citizens, while there are other problems, safety and security problems are really concerned about the senior citizens. And they cannot run around the police stations also, and we have to reach them. And already, as per the Act, also a ASI level officer and above has to be appointed as a nodal officer to take care of these needs. And we will definitely, from the police department, we will come forward, and we have understood this role of the police in taking care of the senior citizens, and we assure you, sir, that we will be senior citizen friendly, and we will uphold the law. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
My name is Sumit. I belong to 2014 batch, and incidentally, I also has worked as a sub-collector in Narsapuram in West Godavari district. Also, sir, Previously also, as Vishwanath has told, that this act requires lot of awareness, and I will just touch two of the societal issues which I encountered in that period. That most of the cases which come to sub-collector or RTO are brought by the daughters. Around 90% of the cases where the daughter is living in a separate family, where parents are living with sons and they are not being taken care, so daughters take first step and they basically bring to the courts. And so that is a very positive side which I encountered in the society, that yes, daughters are definitely taking care of their parents. Second thing, sir, if we see the structure of this act, the sub-divisional tribunal headed by the sub-collector it's a very powerful tribunal, where the appeal only lies to the district collector within 60 days, where he has tremendous power. He can give money up to 10,000 rupees, even if we see the application of section 23, where any voluntarily surrender of money by gift, if it has happened in the past, suo motu action can be taken by the tribunal. So in this regard, so the role of legal service also becomes very important. So we have encountered that at subdivision levels, many learned people from legal societies that used to come and they used to represent, and we felt also very happy that we are getting legal support. But definitely, sir, awareness is required. Even senior citizens are not aware about this act, they are not aware about the provision of this act. So if we are able to move forward, sir, and we are able to create more and more awareness, definitely we'll be getting more cases, sir. Second important point I want to make a point here is that, sir, that when we send senior citizens to the NGOs, we also need to see how the NGOs also work, sir. There are many instances where definitely more and more benefits should come to the senior citizens in terms of pension and the ration and Aadhaar card, as district has also mentioned previously. But how NGOs basically provide services, whether they are able to provide medical care, and whether NGOs are also able to raise these issues and give more awareness and represent to the district authorities is also one point where we require more reforms, sir. So the two key points from my experience, sir, is one is that more awareness is required, and the role of NGOs, if we are able to make sure, definitely, sir, we'll be getting more and more cases, and we'll be able to provide more services to senior citizens. Thank you very much.
సో ఇప్పుడు ప్రాక్టికలీ మనం చూసామంటే ఒక సీనియర్ సిటిజన్స్ ప్రాబ్లం వచ్చినప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ వాళ్ళు ఎవరైనా పోలీస్ స్టేషన్ వస్తారు. పోలీస్ స్టేషన్ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు మనం చెప్పినట్టు ఇప్పుడు మెయింటెనెన్స్ రిలేటెడ్ ఇష్యూస్ అంటే వాళ్ళకి ఎంఆర్ఓ ఆఫీస్కి పంపించడానికి గైడెన్స్ ఇవ్వడం. సపోజ్ క్రిమినల్ పరంగా ఏదైనా వాళ్ళు అబ్యూస్ ఫేస్ చేశారంటే దానికి మన స్టేషన్స్లో ఎఫ్ఐఆర్ రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ చేయడం. అది కాకుండా మనకి రెవెన్యూ డిపార్ట్మెంట్, పోలీస్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్, లీగల్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ అన్నీ ఇన్వాల్వ్ అవుతున్నాయి కాబట్టి కోఆర్డినేషన్, వన్ స్టాప్ సొల్యూషన్ లాగా ఒక డిస్ట్రిక్ట్కి మనం ఒక సంబడి హ్యాస్ టు బి అ కోఆర్డినేటింగ్ లైసెన్స్ ఆఫీసర్ లాగా పెట్టుకోవడం.
My fellow colleagues have shared practical experiences from Narsapuram and the places they have worked in. Just adding to their point of awareness, so I did my sub-collector in Rampacharam, sir. It's a tribal area, and I did a project officer in ITA Paderu, so that is also a tribal area. So awareness and access is a challenge, and more so in tribal areas, sir. The fundamental issue how to create awareness is a challenge at district level and at the executive, the Mandi level also, because the awareness is also lacking at the staff, the government machinery at the ground level also, sir. So this is a very good opportunity for us also to ensure that our entire government machinery up to the village level is made aware, because now since we have secretariats till the village level, so especially if you see Anakapalli, sir, we have 24 mandals, and most of them are the rural region of the Visakhapatnam district, and we have around 465 secretariats, sir. So we will try to create awareness at the secretariat level of all the functionaries, so that any senior citizen who is coming to the secretariat, or if they come across and notice any senior citizen facing certain problems, they can appraise them of such an act, and corrective measures can be taken. Sir, along with this, government also has directed us to conduct weekly grievances, and now with this background, with this kind of orientation, we'll also ensure that during the grievance program, which we'll take it up as a point, every grievance we'll try to reinforce the idea of how to ensure that this act is implemented in a better manner. And we'll also try to conduct bi-monthly reviews. This is a good opportunity for us to learn and also to understand experiences from different districts and different good initiatives that have been presented to us, sir. We'll definitely assure you, sir, that we'll try to implement this act in the true spirit and ensure that the benefits of this act are availed by one and all. Thank you so much, sir.
First of all, let me apologize for having made you wait for so long. The reason, there are two reasons. One is obviously the programs which are scheduled were earlier, but there was a reason why I had this late. I had this as the last session because I did not want to be in a rush in this session. I wanted that we should not rush this session because this is not a formality. I never believe in formality, and especially the cause, the present cause. First of all, let me just ask, there are law students here? Law students among the ladies, who do you think is a very good translator from Telugu? I want to communicate in Telugu, but I can't do that. Who will be a good translator? Who do you think? You will do it? I said, you take a mic. You take a mic.
సీనియర్ సిటిజన్స్ కి సంబంధించిన ప్రోగ్రామ్, ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ కి సార్ లేట్ గా రావడానికి కారణం కూడా వేరే చెప్తున్నారు.
No, then you made the main thing.
This is the last
Why?
time.
Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up. Good. Okay. First of all, let me seek the blessings of our elders. Please bless everybody, especially me, because you are the best persons whose blessings, whose prayers I know God will hear. Because the prayer of a parent and elderly citizen is on a privileged position with God, so kindly bless everybody, especially me. I have very mixed feelings, little bit of joy, but more of sadness. Why I am saying sad is that today we are in a day where we have to pass a law to protect something which is inherent. I really fail to understand how a human being can just abandon his parents or his relatives elderly. So now society has to come up, the government has to come up with a law. This is the most shameful thing for a society, that now we have to protect somebody which never needed protection. A parent and an elderly used to protect the younger one, and now when the turn comes, they totally abandon. So I'm feeling more sad than happy. Okay. So I have one person on top. So he also is monitoring. That what I told you was my feeling as a human being. I'm really very, it makes me very sad when I think about all these things, the society, what we are, where we are heading, just going after materialistic things, money. And a lot of my young friends are here, my age group, my younger ones. Let it be a lesson for all of you. Whatever you see in the family, whatever you pass on to your kids, that will come back to you. Don't forget that you can get away with this. Kindly remember, you should also take this, younger generation, take this as an experience, take this as a lesson, eye-opener. Whatever you do comes back to you. What you reap, what you sow. Everything comes back to you. So kindly remember that you are in a very formative stage. You are in the middle. You have a generation which is following you. You have a generation on top of you. How you conduct yourself will decide how the next generation will treat you. Coming to the topic for which and the main emphasis, I will not give you a prepared lecture. I will not deal with the law. You can see the law. Everybody knows the law. There are advocates to advise you. We have panel. I will not discuss the law. I will only discuss what is the spirit of the law and how we should try to approach the legislation and how we should try to take the maximum benefit. Because every law is for a particular purpose. It has to serve a purpose. There is an object behind the law, but that object to be achieved is through a process, a path. How do we cross that path to take the law, which is there for you in paper, to the ground so that actually you reap the benefit? One major factor which I have observed upon interaction with the senior citizens, either in my own family or something like that, there is a major problem. They may be facing a major problem, but they are too shy to come out in the open, approach the law, maybe due to pressure of society or maybe due to the misplaced love for their children. Still, after being neglected, still they do not want to cause any harm to the children. And as one of the learned speakers had said, that they are also afraid. You are also afraid that whatever little bit of care you are getting, you might not get that if you complain. Now let me make one thing very clear to all the senior citizens. You are not begging for anything. It is your right. First, understand this basic thing. You have that fundamental right on your property, on the responsibility of the society and the children to care for you. So never feel inhibited that by they're doing, nobody is obliging you, not even the government, not even the judiciary, nobody is obliging you. They are doing their duty and they are discharging a right which you have. Kindly feel confident about that. Now comes the harder part. Suppose we make you aware of the law, we make you informed, then what to do? Now our role comes, the role of the judiciary, the role of the legal services, the role of the learned advocates, and obviously the role of the administration. Now I am entrusting a responsibility on the senior citizens. That responsibility is that you are the best awareness creators. You will be talking to your contemporaries, your friends, your peers. You are the best person to transmit, to inform somebody who is not informed. Because I have seen that the older citizens, the senior citizens, they are on talking terms, either on phone or in parks when they meet, they go for a walk, they meet. In that, if you are informed of something, kindly pass it on to your friends who may not be discussing it with you. Don't feel that, oh, they don't ask me, I'm not telling them. Just if you know something about the law, some protection, just pass it on. Maybe out of some inhibition, some shyness, they don't discuss with you. Whenever you find yourself with a person who is a senior person, about your contemporary, older to you, little bit younger to you, you meet him either in the market or you meet him or her while walking, you can understand that the person is not in very good condition. Maybe by his or her expression, maybe by his or her dress sense. Slowly and slowly build up a relationship, because people who are not in that position, maybe they are not very mentally attuned to the actual problem. You may be more receptive to it. Then suddenly you will find that after one or two meetings, that person would come to you. They would ask you some more detail. Then I make you another request, a second request to you. The moment after a few meetings, any of your friends, you feel that he or she is little bit more inquisitive, kindly inform the legal services that I meet a certain person so that we will get in touch. Then we come in the picture. kindly do that part of your responsibility. If God has made you in a position where you are aware of somebody's problem, kindly at least pass it on to the correct. You have got 2 helplines, one is the district helpline, one the helpage has given you. Kindly pass that information and tell that I meet somebody who appears to be in some trouble but not coming up fully. Then we take over. Kindly do that, because otherwise it is very difficult to get the truth out. And unless we know something, because we are outsiders, every person, every stakeholder except for the person affected is an outsider. For an outsider to understand, it is next to impossible, especially in matters of relationship where there is sentiments involved, emotions involved, social stigmas attached. Lot of things are there. We are living in a society, very complex society, and as it is, human relationships are also very complex. I also request them to little bit be more sensitive to this. Let us not treat this only as a job, that I have a responsibility under the act. There is an act in which I am the police officer, somebody would come to me, I have to report. Don't treat it just as a plain, simple job issue. I always keep telling, there are some laws and in some fields where you have to act more from your heart than from your mind. You may be under very pressure. You may be under tremendous pressure. But think, and on a lighter side, suppose you can really make or cause relief to one person, you will feel nice. And let me tell you, especially with regard to people who are in the administration, there are a lot of things on which you don't have control. There is a lot of frustration. You would want to do something, but either your boss is against you or your lower officers against you, you are not cooperating. So you feel that you have not been able to do what you should have done. This is a very good opportunity of letting out your gas. If you help somebody, at least you will feel that, okay, I could not do justice in that case. In some way, I am trying to compensate for that. This is a service to humanity. And in every religion, every sect, there is no greater service than service to humanity. I am giving them the benefit of doubt that what I am saying is correct. I hope they are not turning it around. So they will tell me, I didn't say that, look here, he said. So I hope I don't take the blame for what I have not said. I am confident because there are 2 of them, there is some balance. But yes, it is a very moment to think, and I am really very happy that so many of you have come here, and now I make a special request to my brothers in the media. It is your duty also. Kindly, I say, I know I am not saying that it's a lip service. I am not very free with my compliments. I am a very stingy person of compliments. But I have to give you a due. Because more than half the time it is because of you persons we come to know of it. So I really salute you, I respect you for that. With some, everywhere there are variants, some responsibility is needed. Don't try to project something which is to a certain extent. That is also damaging. Because the moment you exaggerate, the reaction of the other side, the reaction of the judiciary, the police will be also very, and people know the truth. Suppose because of your report, it is an overreaction by the police. Basing on the report, the public will lose faith. That look here, this was the fact and look here what happened. So report correctly to the extent required. If you are responsible, then only we as a judiciary, the administration will also be responsible. There is public pressure. Report is out of proportion, blown out. The police also react very hard. In the end, the public knows truth cannot be suppressed. People will know the truth. And when they know the truth and they say, look here, there was an overreaction, atrocities all come. Why? Because it started on your report. Don't play it, because don't put any agency under pressure. Report truthfully. You have done your job. And then I take responsibility from my side, and the administration is also here, the advocates are also here, they are part of my family. We also promise that we will discharge our duty as is required under the Constitution, and most of all by our conscience. Report. Don't suppress report. I'm encouraging you, I'm telling you, do not suppress anything against anybody. But report the facts. And only report the facts. Your job is done because you are a fact reporting agency. Rest ball passes to the police, administration, and then comes to the judiciary. Everybody, let us be with ourselves. Don't become judgmental. Don't pass judgments. That is where the miscarriage of justice takes place. So please kindly help us in this mission. Help us in taking it forward. Help us in restoring the place which we ought to give, which is the right of our citizens, elder citizens, our elders, especially our parents, which we have taken away from them. And with regard to the elderly people, I would only tell you one advice. Don't bother, don't feel saddened by the act of your children, no matter what.
ఎవరినైనా అసూయపరచాలి అంటే ఎక్కువగా మన సినిమాల్లో వాటిలో చూస్తూ ఉంటాము, వీరి పట్ల ప్రేమను తగ్గించి వేరే వాటి పట్ల ప్రేమను చూపించిన పరిస్థితుల్లో అసూయ పెరిగి బాధ పెరిగే పరిస్థితి ఉంటుంది.
And now I will conclude. I don't want people to feel that when I hold the mic, I don't leave it. So now it is time for me to deliver you all. Finally, I would say that there is great strength in emotion, in love, and your belief on the Almighty. Don't ever think that we cannot change your emotional crisis. We cannot change the heart of your offsprings. But yes, we can give you a helping hand. But for that, you have to be strong. Just connect with the Almighty. Think that the Almighty has better. It has made you a better person. And you know, I have a very strong feeling that God listens to people who are in crisis. When you are in a crisis, you make a prayer, it will be answered. I have a very strong belief. Believe in God, but don't feel helpless. The moment you feel helpless, we are there to support you. And I can assure from my team, from the administration, my police friends are here, they will be sensitive to you. But yes, it is your duty to stand by. Lot of times you will come with a complaint. The moment the police become active, you will change your version. What happens then? The system loses. They are going out of their work. They are going out of their jurisdiction. They are risking their reputation. Tomorrow you will, because of love for your children, you say, no, I did not make this. What happens to that person who has helped you? Tomorrow no police officer will help you. Tomorrow no judicial officer will help you. Because if they are trying to protect your rights, but then if you take a stand, kindly stick to it, give them so that they are not put in a wrong position. They are doing a duty to you, they are doing a service to you, they are risking their career for you. But then they have to feel confident that you will not let them down. Once you take a step, and I assure you, I can give this assurance, law is with you. Nobody can touch you. The only thing is you have to take a stand and be rigid on that. If you start wavering, then no law can help you. So first take a stand, be confident, and then we assure you that the law is sufficient to protect you from any harm. Jai Hind, thank you.